Beautiful. Let's go dive deep into master your emotion and find your truth. And today we're going to live with that truth. And I would like to articulate, let's go live with our own truth. So today is number 39. Let me just only tell you who is watching us briefly, what does the number 39 mean? That's an angelic number. I'm working with a lot of angels and I'm channeling that information. But the 3 and 9 magic number, 3 is the master number, but 3 is also creativity number. And 9 is a number of, let me just only say what I just only said, supporting divine time, divine place, but always you need to take the action. So when you see that podcast is a 39, that's definitely in the right time, right place. And don't forget, take your power back. But you need to go inside yourself and digging deep in and just only unraveling what is actually what you really know, what makes you stronger. So yes, that's all around this number. But today I've got a beautiful guest. Actually, that's the third time we are meeting again. That's amazing. I've got the privilege to introduce you to Dave. I know a few times I was difficult to say and pronounce your surname. May I just only try today, or maybe I just only escape? Oh, so Dave.
Give it a try.
Okay, I'll try. I'll try my best because let's go. So it's a Dave Argetli.
Well, it's not actually my name. It's what I'm called. Allegedly Dave.
Allegedly Dave. Whew, okay, what I say. That's amazing. Anyway. Some of you who are watching us a little bit know about Dave, but some of you don't know. So today you've got the opportunity to hear something from him. I don't want to give for you too much information around it. So maybe, would you mind just only Dave, introduce yourself a little bit, just only briefly, because some of the people who are watching us today are completely new and they are completely new in the awakening process to that knowledge and information. That would be great.
Okay, so yeah, I'm Dave. I was just an ordinary guy. I was actually living in New Jersey in the States for a while, and I was at 9/11, and because I watched that and then suddenly realized that it was an inside job, that launched me into it's nearly 20 years of looking for the truth. And so as I found truth, I've been actually living that truth. So whatever I find out, I have to actually assimilate into my life and change my life. So I gave up working, and I've spent the last something like 12, 13 years helping people for free. That's what I do.
That's amazing. Oh, because you said you're listening to the truth and you found the truth. So that's the podcast is all about. Find your own truth and live that truth. But also what I'm just only sneaky on my side I'm watching your website and you said, I'm going to send you read it straight away. I had to be a change that I wanted to see. Is that mean? So you want, yeah, that was like you've been
Yes.
following this.
I can't remember who actually said that, but be the change you want to see in the world. Well,
Yeah.
that made sense to me. But if I wanted the world to change, I have to change myself first. So that's what I've done. I've changed myself.
Yeah, that's lots of people now at the moment on the planet that is only whining and is only blaming and judging others, and they're still waiting for the miracle. Of course, the miracle will arrive, but they need to move themselves. So how they can move themselves forward to break them 3D dimension world, let's go say matrix, whatever they would like to call that illusion where they are living now at the moment, but they would like to live.
Well, you know what? One of the things I'm finding out now, one of the amazing things I'm finding out now is that we have more power in this world than we realize. Okay, much more. So, yeah, you're talking about this 3D world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have. Oh, did my camera go?
Yes, but I can still hear you.
Okay, so I've done that now. Yeah, so yes, with this 3D world, we have more power in it. We actually shape the events that happen out in this world. You know, it's us that's doing it. Okay. So yeah, sorry.
No. Just keep going. Just when you trigger something in my head, my brain, like I just.
So I'm finding out that well, let me step back a second. What's going on? It seems like my camera keeps going off for some reason. Well,
That's a
it
Mandela
seems
effect.
that yeah.
Glitches in the
So it
matrix.
seems like yeah, it's me saying the wrong things here. Yeah, so what it seems to be is that I'm getting errors coming up here, but I don't know what's
Ignore it.
going on.
Ignore it. This
Anyway,
one. Just want to keep carry on.
I'll just go ignore it. Yeah, so what it seems to be is that we inhabit this three-dimensional world, but we also inhabit what's known as the fourth dimensional world. And the fourth dimension is beyond time and space, but we access it. And I'm probably going to confuse everybody. We access it, and anything that appears in the fourth dimension, which we can create with our thoughts, will eventually end up here in the third dimension. All right. So I had this experience, this cannabis experience, which showed me that dimension. And it seemed like it was the same as this world, except everything was in wireframe, like a 3D computer simulation. So it was like everything was prototyped there, but then it appears here. But we have the power to make things happen. So everything around you in your world, right, directly affecting you, right, is your own doing, essentially. It's what you expect to have here that you cause to come into to being. I know it sounds all sort of you know, woo-woo and and spiritual and all stuff, but that's what I think is really happening. Because when you take into consideration things like you know, silly things, what we call silly, manifesting a car parking space, or when you say, oh, I wonder what so and so's doing, and he phones you, you know,
Yeah.
you're actually you've got a hand in how this world sort of unfolds. I've seen it many times in my life, you know, when going to America, for instance. I actually wanted to go to America. So in the 3D world, I thought, well, how do I do that? Right. So I'll actually go and speak to the American embassy. Right. So
Yeah,
that's what I did. You know, I tried in the 3D world to actually make something happen. So I went to and spoke to somebody there, and they said, have you got lots of money? I said, no. Have you got a degree? No. Have you got a special skill that nobody else has? No. Like, it just listed all these things that I didn't have. And I said, sorry, no, you can't, you won't be able to live in America. Okay. So that desire stayed there, but it was like, okay. But what was happening in the four-dimensional world, camera going off again, I think. What was happening in the fourth dimensional world was that desire was now manifesting. It's literally, because I still wanted that to happen, it happened without me trying to make it happen. So I ended up living in America, you know, without all those things that I would have needed, you know, in the third dimensional world. Now, if I was so stuck in the third dimensional world,
yeah,
I would have tried to, you know, physically make one of those conditions that, you know, actually happen so that I could do it sort of third dimensionally. But that's just an option. You can do it that way, or you can do it the way the world really works. I hope I'm not confusing everything with this.
no, that's all about the podcast. Thank you for sharing, because we are so stuck, just only stuck in our heads. Because when you're going to beyond, like just only, that's amazing. So you said 3 dimension, 4 dimension, and fifth dimension. All dimensions that still exist now spontaneously. So just only the mental Yeah, that's, yeah, I would like to say we're living in the mental matrix. So we need to just only rise up our consciousness, the way of the perspective, like just only said also, we creating our world through that, our thoughts. So what you've got in your head, that's how you can see the life in front of you. But it's amazing because I was just only sensing, so you didn't resist too much to go to that America, the United States, because then if you will be resist, probably you won't be you won't be there. Is that true?
Well, it's more the okay. So let's start with the desire. I had the desire to go there, okay, and
Yeah.
live there, right? So I tried to make that, you know, in from a 3D perspective, I tried to make that happen, right? And you know, I hit brick walls, okay? The brick wall
Yeah.
being, you know, you need this, that, and the other. Now, if I was stuck in that 3D world, I might have jumped through some of their hoops, you know, maybe gone to try and get a degree. So then I could go back to them and say, well, I've got a degree now. And maybe there might be some more barriers to jump or hoops to jump through or whatever. Okay. But I might have been able to do it the 3D way. The real way, the fourth dimensional way, is to hang on to that desire, right? Um, and assume it's going to happen anyway. Okay. And what will happen is your desire is a cause. Okay. Because we think of causes as, you know, I let go of this pen and that's the cause for it to fall down. Yeah.
Mhm.
So the action of letting go of that pen
That's
is
what
the cause. Right. Well, your imagination and your desire focused is a cause, and the effect is a manifestation in the 3D world. So that your intention and your desire placed into the fourth dimensional world, okay, that
Mhm.
wireframe world where prototypes are, eventually cause the action of manifestation in the third dimension.
That's beautifully said. Yeah, that's amazing because we can apply this for everything in our life. So definitely everything what is going on now on the planet Earth, we can just only focus on what we really want to see in this world. No, but we don't want to see because then we will be putting attention and focus in a different direction. And that's why so many people, I just only get a lot of information from them. Even that was the one of the social media platforms. The one lady said, "Oh my goodness, that's a lot of things going on." So I said, "Focus what you would like to see in your life, and just only put attention because when a lot of us we are going to put attention on the positive one, we're going to create the beauty in our life." And she said, "No, that's nonsense." So how, in other words, how we can support each other, and how we can, another way what we can do, okay, that's the best question. What we can do to uplifting ourselves and having much more faith and trust in that process is working.
Well, it's actually too easy, actually, but it's
Oh,
easy in one respect, but hard because
okay.
you know we're not used to it. Okay. Well, it starts just with trusting that it works, knowing that it works, believing that it works. Okay, knowing that this is the way the universe works. That's it. It's simple as that in one respect, but it's very difficult to get out of the programming that we've been in. Okay,
Yeah.
that that's it. We've been programmed to well, we've been programmed according to a religion, and that religion is science. Okay, because science will not see or not regard anything that it can't see and measure and test. Yeah, so anything that is beyond those parameters, then it doesn't exist. So
Uh,
the fourth dimension doesn't exist, yeah, according to science.
that's
So
neat.
it won't even look at that And it's, you know, most people in this world today are following the religion of science. Yeah. So, you know, we've been brought up that way, so we can't get out of the left-hand side of our brain. Because the left-hand side of our brain is the side that roots us here in the third dimensional world. Okay. And it thinks, right, in terms of the way we think of thinking. Yeah. So a linear process of looking and taking in signals from our senses and perceiving this world, right, making a model in our heads and then reacting to that model. Okay. That's our left-hand side of our brain. Our right brain isn't rooted here. It's rooted in the fourth dimension. Yeah, it's connected to the mind behind all this stuff. Okay. So we have a direct connection to the mind behind all this stuff. Okay. But it doesn't think in the same way as the left-hand side of our brain. Right. It thinks in intuition. In it knows everything, but you know, you can't access it in this direct way that we usually do with our left-hand side of our brain. So we get information in pictures and intuitions and hunches and feelings rather than definite concrete thoughts. Right. So so it's difficult for us to switch from left-hand thinking to right-brained intuition feeling. Okay. And there's a reason why we can't get things to happen the way we think it should happen. Because our imagination is more powerful than our intentions or our desires. Okay. So what do I mean by that? If I was to put a long plank of wood, right, on the floor, right, so that plank was 10 feet long and it was about, you know, 6 inches wide, right? And I said, right, could you walk across this plank without falling off it? Yeah. Do you think you could do that?
I don't. Yes,
So the
I don't
plank's
think
about that
so.
wide.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
that way. Yeah, now I'm just thinking, I don't think so. But then, yeah.
Yeah, it's that wide, right?
Yeah.
And so you could when it's that plank is on the floor,
Slowly.
right? You could easily walk across it, right? I mean, no, you could run across it if you wanted to, yeah, but without falling off it. Okay. Now, if I took that plank and put it up 30 feet on the top of a building to another building, yeah. And you know, you got up to the top of that building and I said, look, now walk across that plank. Could you do it?
I can do it, but with the fears, or maybe that fears will going to stop me.
Well, now what's going to happen is you try to do it. If you manage to conquer the fear of doing it then anyway, right? If you manage to conquer that fear, right? The fear is still there and it's likely to make you fall off that plank, even though you could do it easily if it's on the floor, right?
Okay.
Your imagination is more powerful than your desire. So your imagination of you falling off that plank, well, it's likely to cause it to happen. That imagination of falling off the plank doesn't apply when it's on the floor, right? So you can easily do it. When it's up in the air, your imagination prevents you from doing it. Okay, so you know your imagination when you go into saying I want this to happen, your imagination of what you believe, you know, the world to be prevents you from making it happen. I hope that makes some sense.
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely, yes. Yes, that's completely. I was thinking before, as the intention is much more powerful than imagination. But now, yes, imagine, because when the children at the school, they've been, I would like to say, I remember anyway when my daughter went to the school, the primary school, and that was like a test for them. And every time they brought the book to the home, that was like a learn, repeat. and listen or something like that. I couldn't remember. Anyway, that was a spelling, but also the spelling is another way of doing the lots of magic in our world, let's go say that way. So yeah, so that was like, I would like to say, they've been suppressing their own imagination, the ability and possibility to be much more creative, even if they've been saying at the school, oh, be creative, use your imagination. But when you go, do this, do that, do this, that you can, that is your imagination. So we've been told, oh, that's our imagination, but it's not really our imagination, isn't it?
Not really. It's actually, you know, think about it. What is it there for? What is this idea, this facility that we have to create things inside our heads? What's that there for? What's the purpose of it? You know, do you think dogs have that? You know, do
Yeah,
dogs, you know, dream up how to build a table or
yeah,
something? Yeah. No, they don't. We've got this facility. So what's it there for? Right. Well, it's there for a reason. It's there for actually shaping the experience that we have on this world. And that's I
yeah,
think what we're here for, because every animal on this earth has a purpose. It's most well, every animal has a purpose, and that purpose is to keep this world ticking over, keep it running. Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah,
I give the example of lions, for instance. The lions eat antelope, not because they just because they like antelope meat, right? Their job is to keep the antelope population fit and strong, doing their job, because they pick off the weak, the old, you know, and so on, right? So it keeps the antelope herd
yeah,
strong, and that antelope herd is there to keep the savannah, you know, nice and perfectly preserved. So they eat the grass, they, you know, and so on and so on. If that antelope herd got too big, then they'd start destroying the savannah. So the lion population increases to take down the antelope population to its perfect number. So that way the savannah is kept perfect. Yeah. So all animals are here doing a job to keep the earth running. Yeah. We're the
yeah,
only ones who don't have a job. So our job is to experience this world, this perfect world. And in order to facilitate, right, us experiencing everything there is to experience here, we have the ability to shape our experience exactly the way we want it to be.
yeah, that's right.
Unfortunately, though, there is a group of entities here who've hijacked our abilities, who've brainwashed us and poisoned us out of those abilities, and yet, you know, even though they can't take those abilities away from us altogether, they are channeling those abilities into creating the world they want to see.
That's totally true.
Uh,
I agree with
and
that.
that's it.
And also, I would like to say, because that was a beautiful metaphor. And when you've been talking about the tiger and that all savannah, oh my, that was amazing. So I was just only saw that vision in my head, like as a whole earth is running like that now. The lots of people didn't have uh, the purpose of their life because they was diminished and there was a suppressed anyway, and now they are just only getting a bigger and bigger, but that's a kind of the metaphor because they've been full of the different information anyway. So that's beautiful. I love that metaphor. I don't know if somebody's watching us got the same feeling, but that was like amazing stuff. Wow, that's, I just only recommend everyone to watch again and again and again and dive deep in. Yes, that's right. Yeah, I would totally
Well,
agree. Yeah.
I've got another metaphor for this place.
Oh,
I don't know if
beautiful.
you've ever
Yes.
I don't know if you've ever watched Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Oh, I'm not really fan of the Star Trek, but yes.
Okay. Well, they, you know, they have this concept of a place called the holodeck. Okay. So the
Mm-hmm.
holodeck is a big room where you can program the computer to simulate any environment you want. You can say to the computer, okay, I want to be in a Sherlock Holmes story. Yeah.
Mhm.
So the computer will create 19th century London, right? And it will create all these characters, and you can walk around in this world, and it's like a normal world, but now it's the 19th century, and all these characters around, and you can eat stuff and do stuff as if you're out in the world. Okay. So you can program anything you want in that computer, and the computer will
That's
instantly do
true.
it. Right. So you'll see episodes where somebody will walk in and say, I want more people, and then all of a sudden more people arrive, or I want everybody gone, and all of a sudden everyone's gone. Yeah. But in order to access the computer, you have to call the computer. You have to say, computer, more people, or computer, I want, I want a plate full of food here, whatever. Yeah. Imagine if a whole bunch of us went in to play in the holodeck, right? And somehow somebody made it so that we forgot the name of the computer. Well, now we can't access the computer and make any changes anymore. We can't even get out because we can't tell
Yeah,
the computers to end the game. Yeah.
that's true.
So
Yes.
now we're stuck in this world, right? And there may be somebody or a group of people who actually remember the computer's name, and they're hoarding that knowledge themselves, and they're making changes, right? They're making changes, but and we don't know what's going on, right? That's pretty much what's really going on here, right? We have the ability to make any change we want to this world, but we've forgotten how to.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you so much for your metaphor. I love the metaphor, and that's the best way how we can describe this world and how we can describe any kind of the situation. What I would like to say is like I strongly believe and I strongly sense that energy in our planet, like somewhere and someone is doing the good job and doing the good work and channeling the great, fantastic information. So when so many people just only gather each other and they can talk each other, they can spread much more good energy and they can increase that vibration. I don't know, how is your point? So how is your view around the vibration?
I, again, the whole vibration thing is a bit of a new age trope that I don't know.
Okay, it's okay. I'm just only
It
asking if you got that.
yeah, no, it represents something, but it doesn't represent what I don't think it represents what's really going on. Um, you can actually use this power to help other people. You don't even have to be in the room with them or anything, right? Because okay, I'll have to step back a second. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It's
I've
okay.
got I've got a video out there called "How the Most High Created the Universe," right?
Okay.
Um, and in that video, I basically go through the steps of a singular consciousness who is self-aware and all there is. What would that consciousness do?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and when it's suddenly aware of itself, and it's like it knows it's the only thing there is. Now
Yeah.
what? So I go through a logical process of self-exploration. And
Mm-hmm.
so, it's like, okay, what's the most interesting concept if you're the only being there is, right? Your only thing there is. The most interesting concept is something else. Yeah.
Okay.
Something other than you. Yeah. So if you symbolize yourself as a point, right, then you might symbolize a other as another point. And you might then symbolize that, think of that point not only being there, what is it like if that point is over here? I don't know
Okay.
that point is over here and over here and over here. And it will think about all the possible places for that point to be that distance away, which is a circle. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So now you've experienced what it feels like for an other to be, you know, all around you,
Around you.
or any place around you. But now you can think of, hang on a second, what does that look like from the perspective of the other?
And then
Right.
another.
So you can imagine, then you get two circles sort of intertwined, which is called the Vesica Pisces. Yeah.
Mm,
And if you keep, you start now generate new points where the circles
yeah.
cross. So then you can keep drawing other circles and you end up with the flower of life. And a flower of life inside that has all two-dimensional geometry. Yeah.
Yeah. I
It
know.
also
Yeah.
has all three-dimensional geometry. So now you've created the idea of two-dimensional space and then three-dimensional space. It also has the rudiments of time, the idea of time, changeability, right? So now you've created time as well. So now I'm basically go through the process in this video of how the Most High created this entire universe. And this world is the entire universe. Okay.
Wow.
So
Amazing.
so this is a universe, and because all of this is in the mind of the Most High, right? All it is information at the real bottom basis, basement of this place is just information. It's structure organized by information. Okay. So there is no real space or time. Yeah. You and me are a few thousand miles apart in the 3D world. But really, at the basis of all this is just information. We're all in the same place. There
Yeah.
is
We are
no
close.
place.
Yeah.
We're all,
Yeah.
yes. So the information tells us that we are thousands of miles apart, right? We're communicating via some technology. But what's really going on is that we are two parts of one mind, separate parts of one mind, but we're all in the same place,
Yeah.
right?
That's
So there is no distance between us, and we can communicate without this, right? But we just don't know how. We've forgotten how to. So we're using this metaphor of technology to do it. Another way of thinking of it is if you imagine, if you've seen the Matrix film, right? When Neo is lying on that couch with the spike in the back of his head,
yeah.
where is he? He's having this experience in the Matrix, but where is that? It's not a place. It's in his head, right?
Everything is a mental.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's all happening in his head. There's no actual space. So if he's on the phone talking to somebody, in another country in the Matrix, where is that other person? Well, he's in the same place,
With him
which
or
isn't
her.
the place
Yeah.
with
That's
him.
true. Yeah.
So really, he doesn't need the phone to speak to the other person because they're both in the same place. But because of the construct
Wow.
of that place, yeah, they need a metaphor to be able to speak. If they had a different metaphor, right, then they wouldn't need the technology. So that different metaphor is telepathy, for instance. Okay. So if everybody believed and knew it to be true, then we wouldn't need all this technology. We would just do it.
Yeah.
The same thing as teleporting. We can't teleport, today because we don't have the metaphor that supports it. We're starting to, because Star Trek introduced that metaphor with this idea of beaming from place to place. Yeah. That metaphor, but it's still in the science fiction realm. So for everybody out in the world, we all believe that as science fiction. We can't get it into our heads that it could be reality until somebody does it, technology. Now it becomes more real. And if somebody has the desire to do it without the technology, then it will be done without the technology. This place we live in is a very malleable place. And we're the ones who are the shapers of this place.
Yeah, but we've been, it's not actually, it's not our fault. That was a generation and eons, but yeah, but now it's our responsibility to be awake. But so many of us doesn't want to be awake. So what's your point of view? Why the people don't want to be awake? Why the people don't want to drop that illusion? Because that's the illusion they create inside themselves.
Okay, well, there's again, there's a bit of a science fiction answer for that.
So I love the science
Okay,
fiction. Is that true? Is it a commentary?
I think it's the truth, but people are going to see it as a science fiction answer.
It's okay.
Um, the truth is, there are 5 types of beings here, all masquerading as being humans,
Mhm.
or so there are there are the descendants of Adam, actual man. Okay, they were created by the Most High, right? Then you've got a race of people we call Neanderthals. Okay. Now, if you look in the Old Testament, they would have been created by the angels. So, in Genesis 1:27, it's angels created men and women and were told to sort of males and females, and they were told to go out and spread out across the world,
Mhm.
you know. Then in Genesis 2:7, Adam is created. Later on, Eve is created, and they're told to stay in the garden. Okay. So there were 2 different groups of people created by 2 different creators. Right. So they're the first 2. The next one was when the angels came down and had sex with women, and they begot the Nephilim. So that's the third group of people here.
People.
The fourth group are, okay, you'd call them clones. They are beings created, I think, by the Nephilim class of people, right? That aren't, they aren't human. They're just like empty vessels. Okay. And then you've got mixtures of all of the above. So they're the 5 types of beings that are here. Okay. It's only Adamites. It's only the people that the Most High created, right? And maybe some of the mixtures that have predominant genes of Adamites that have the ability to shape this world. The
Okay,
Nephilim
that's so big.
that are the Nephilim that are trying to shape this world in their image are using the Adamites to do it for them because they can't do it themselves.
Yeah, okay.
But they have some slight ability to affect this world, but only on a kind of instinctive level, not on a direct level like we can. An example of that, well, I think everything has, even plants and animals have an ability to affect this world. Somebody sent me a video of a French scientist. Now, what this French scientist did, he created this little robot, okay? And this robot, when he put it on the ground, it would start moving randomly. So
Mhm.
it would decide, it would choose a random number and decide a different direction to move in, how far to move, and all that, just based on random numbers. Okay.
Mhm.
And at the bottom of this robot was a pen. So if he set this thing going on a piece of paper, it would just draw random movements on it. Okay.
Mhm.
So what he did was he got a baby chick, yeah, little chicken, little baby
Okay, yeah.
chick,
Mhm.
freshly hatched, and he put this chick with this robot so that the chick would imprint himself on the robot. Think the robot would be, the chick would think the robot was his mother. So the chick
Okay.
would follow
Robot.
the robot around, yeah. And after this chick had been imprinted, they took the chick, put it in a glass cage next to a big board with paper on
Mhm.
it, and
Yeah,
they set the robot on the other side of the board, right, to where the chick was. So the
yeah.
chick could see it, right,
But couldn't
but
get.
it couldn't get to it. So the robot was on the other side of the board and it was moving randomly. So what do you think would happen? What do you think happened when they just let this robot go?
So from my opinion, it's like when they let robot go, that was like they slightly programmed that chick. That's from my point of view when I'm just only saying that. Because when the small chick was like a tiny, and then saw the robot and they been allowed him to just only run around that robot and giving that projection, that's his mother or her mother. Yeah, so something like that. I don't know if I'm just that's my sense.
So what? Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think the robot did? Because again, all it can do is move randomly. So what do you think the robot did when they let it go?
He tried to grab that chick again.
What happened was that robot would eventually find its way and stay near the chick.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. Yeah,
Yeah. But why would it do that? Because again, all it could do is random movements, right? So, with if the chick wasn't there, and they did this experiment with control, so they got a chick that wasn't imprinted, put it in the case, and the robot would just randomly move around, right? And just maybe sometimes it would end up there, but other times it would end up wherever it wanted to be. Okay.
yeah,
But when they put a chick that was imprinted on that robot, the
yeah,
robot would end up next to the chick. Why is that? It's because the chick desire to be near its mother, right, was affecting the random numbers so that the robot would end up near the chick. It was a desire, the instinctual desire for
yeah,
the chick to have its mother near
yeah.
it, yeah, was affecting the random numbers so that the robot was next to the chick. So on an instinctual level, right, the chick is affecting the universe around it, yeah, but it doesn't have it wasn't doing it, with any knowledge. It was just an
Yeah,
instinctual basis. Okay.
yeah. Natural basis.
We're
Yeah,
Yes, so all the other animals and creatures, and I think even everything in this universe has some level of this interaction, right? But only Adam was created in the image and likeness of the Most High. And that's what I think it means. Obviously the Most High isn't a man, right? So the image and likeness wasn't because, Adam looked like the Most High. No, I think the image and likeness is the creative ability, the ability to create, to
yeah.
manifest here. That was the image and likeness.
Wow, so many. Well, because when you only said about this chicken and that robot, I remember the book one, or I don't know if you just only read or maybe you heard about the Dolores Cannon book. She was channeling, she was a hypnotherapist and she was doing,
Mhm.
she did the past life regression. And what she said, what she was channeling from that was the one client, and she put that client in the trance, in that hypnotic state, and that's moved that human in the past. And what he, or I couldn't remember actually, was he or she found her, let's go say that was her, herself in the planet, on the planet where all the robots have been there, and she was, there's one of her reincarnation was being a robot. And what is taken out from this is like she said she had the soul, she had that consciousness inside her because she was made it by human. So I don't know. Now there's lots of information around it. So that's I was really thinking as well when I was just really connecting. Or maybe that robot felt that soul, felt that emotions from the chick, that instinct, or that that feeling of I don't know how to say. Mm.
You mean like almost like a ghost in the machine type thing?
Yeah, so something like that. But that's yeah, something thinking about it as well, because I'm not closing my mind. I'm just only opening for everything, and I'm just only taking what is suits for me, for my evolution. But yeah, that was something like that. But that was beautifully said. So
Well,
now we know what's going on the planet Earth, who who is here and who is doing the right stuff on this planet Earth. who's been stopped doing that stuff, the right stuff on the planet increase, knowledge and information unravel a lot of stuff. So now we know beautifully. That's so clarity around here. Thank you so much. That's amazing.
Well, what's going on right now is the time of the apocalypse, which is the word means the great revealing of truth. So
Yeah.
the truth of this world that's been hoarded and hidden in secret societies and and certain books that have been coded so that the normal people can't understand what's going on. All that knowledge that's been hidden is now coming out, and people are starting to wake up to who they really are, and what their purpose is, what their powers in this world are. And I think even conversations like this are feeding into that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that's lots of information during that. Yeah, in this conversation was touched, and that was like through the metaphors. That was amazing stuff. So the people needs to go dive deep in, or maybe rewatch it and rewatch it again. That would be beautifully. I would like to just only say I didn't touch today about the grounding stuff. I would like to say about any stuff like that. But I wasn't being called by my guides or my angels. So I don't know what's going on, but definitely needs to be like that. But I've got one question as well from your website. Would you mind just only tell us? Actually, I tried to do. I've been trying today to do it, but I didn't do it properly. And that's your test. You just only put it out the Muggles test or Muggles test.
Muggle
Yes,
test,
what is
yeah.
it? Because that was like it triggered me something. Oh, just go there and just only have a look. And that was a lot of fantastic questions.
Right. The Muggle test is okay, it's a test to really just to see where you are and understanding what's going on in the world. Okay.
Yeah, that would be
Now,
amazing.
it's a multiple choice, they're like multiple choice questions, and the choices basically represent okay. So okay, well, whatever topic it is, let's say health. Oh no, okay. Some kind of conspiracy, what's known as a conspiracy theory. Okay, you've got 5 answers to choose from. Now, each of those answers represents a level of understanding of the situation. Okay, so the first level is essentially the mainstream view of the world. So the answer that you would find on television if you ask that question, let's say, right? That's obviously the completely asleep level. The next level will be it's because of money, right? So the
Yeah,
answer would be roundabout because of its money, because of money. The next level is it's control. It's the doing, this is the case because of some group wants control.
yeah,
And then the next level might be because it's depopulation, about depopulation. So yeah, so why there's control, the control's there, it's because they want to depopulate. And the level above that is, well, it's depopulation of a particular people, and everybody else is like collateral damage. So literally, depending on your answers, I can gauge where you are in your understanding, and I can then send you a whole list of videos to watch to get you up to speed.
wow, that's
So
amazing.
that's it. When you start the Muggle test, the only thing I ask for is an email address. Okay, so that once you finish the test, I'll just email you a set of videos. I'll say, yeah, you scored this much, right? And I understand you're a bit light in understanding on these topics. Here are some videos to watch.
Yeah. But I would like to just only remind everyone there's only said 3 minutes. You've got 3 minutes. Is that true? That
Yeah,
wasn't
it's
that
it's
wasn't enough for me. I was just only start thinking, analyzing, and just only writing the story. That was my woman brain. It's like, oh, I was like a poem. I was start writing around it. Few questions at the beginning, and I said, okay, 3 minutes is gone. I said, oh no, I'm going to try again. I'm going to try again. Maybe you can extend 6 minutes for the woman. Just only
Well, it's
keep
it. Well,
just only priority for 6 minutes
I,
for the woman and 3 minutes for men.
I wouldn't open myself up to the criticism by saying, "Oh, put 6 minutes for women." No, no. I did it 3 minutes for a reason, because I didn't want people to spend too long looking
I
and
know.
maybe looking stuff up or anything. It's to come straight out, right?
Yeah, answer.
Or
Intuitive
even
answer.
looking at the answers, and because
Oh,
what people do is they look at the answers and try and figure out what it is you want them, I
I
want to
understand.
hear, rather
Yeah.
than what they think. So I
Yeah.
want to get out of that bit.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. And I would like to just only finish with the one question. I don't know. That was a woman from that group. She would like to ask me, you ask them. Anyway, that was a question. Why so many I don't know, is that true? But she said, why so many women awaken? But it's not really that man. I don't know. If you know that answer, please answer.
Well, I think that men have been under attack for a long, long time, right?
Okay.
And the media has been concentrating on women, but what's been actually happening is that men have been under attack. You know, in plastic bottles, there's
Mm-hmm.
a substance called BPA, bisphenol A. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an artificial hormone, and it's in everything. Okay, you
Okay.
cannot escape it. Now, bisphenol A is this artificial hormone which essentially attacks men. It basically attacks their testosterone.
Oh,
There's
okay.
also a chemical called atrazine. Atrazine, when it was discovered, they discovered it changes male frogs into female frogs. Okay, but then they put it in everything again. So everything in our environment is attacking masculinity. So people's testosterone levels have been dropping. Now, testosterone is what makes a man aggressive,
Yeah.
or um, you know, um, what makes a man masculine. Yeah.
Yeah.
And not only that, the whole society has been about, demasculating men. Yeah. Um, if you watch any films or TV, you'll find now all the men are, I don't know, the beta males who can't do anything for themselves and need help from women to do anything. And people are starting to see that, and monkey see, monkey do. So
Yeah.
so now roles have been reversed. Whereas before, the men would be, charging forward to stand up against stuff, right? They've lost that now. Yeah. And
Yeah.
anybody who still has that is probably into sports. So that those feelings are now channeled into a meaningless sport. Yeah. Channeled into red team against blue team. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So essentially, no, I think it's men have been I don't know, neutered.
Sadly. Yeah, I totally agree. That's lots of women as a man, and a man that's lots of women. I don't have to watch TV because I don't have a TV, and I don't have to watch the movie. When you go outside and you're walking on the street and you see lots of people like that, even from the school, when my children decided to go back, but they know where they are standing, so they're going just only for socializing actually. But anyway, so I've
Well, one of
seen,
the
yeah.
oh, sorry, Kim.
No, no,
Carry
carry
on.
on. No, I would
I
like
was
to
just going to
say,
say that
come on, yeah, you can
I
go.
was just going to say that when my son went to school, because we came back from America, and my son went to school in England,
Mhm.
and the first thing he said to me was, "Dad, why are all the boys acting like girls?" Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah,
didn't mean to
that was,
interrupt you.
yeah, but it's not only just only the boys. Uh, yeah, actually she, because I've got a daughter, so she saw so many different gender, I would like to say, different pronouns. I don't know, that was the kind of the things. And yeah, and that's totally, I don't know how to say that stuff. It's getting crazy. It's getting crazy around it, definitely.
Yeah. Well, they want
Yeah.
they want us all confused and not being able to relate to each other. That's the key. They want us not to be able to relate to each other, right? So that eventually we can all be isolated. Right. I remember it, in my lifetime, right? Um, when I moved to a particular area, um, everyone was together. It was people were where I lived, there was all houses around this big green, and everybody was in everyone else's houses, and
Oh,
you
so
knew all your neighbors. You knew all your neighbors, and you'd walk down the street and you'd say hello to everybody because everybody, yeah, everyone knew each other. Okay. Now in the same place, right? Nobody knows even their next door neighbor. Nobody talks to each other. Everyone is suspicious of everybody else. Yeah. That's what they want us to be isolated. Right. Imagine if they get us all into their smart cities, their mega cities. Now there's, 1 billion of us, or like in this country, let's say, there's like 4 or 5 million of us in this mega city, right? All in our shoebox apartments, yeah, and not knowing anybody else around us.
yeah.
If your next door neighbor was killed, right, how would you
Yeah,
know? How do you wouldn't care, you wouldn't know or care, right?
that's true.
You wouldn't know until you're the last person left, and you still wouldn't know, yeah. Because so yeah, that's their aim. They want us all separate,
Mm.
so we don't know what's going on, and we don't ever band together and fight it.
So how we can support each other? How we can just only change that?
Again, by changing yourself, reaching out to people, you know. Um, Again, knowing that this agenda is this anti-human agenda, right? That is aiming to try and exterminate us all. Right. Well, they can't do it if we're all together and saying no. But if we're all separate, not knowing what's going on, they can easily do it.
Yeah, but also you said at the beginning, we're creating this universe, or we're creating our lives through our thoughts, and we can just only move to the from the one dimension to another dimension, 3D to the 4D, and we can manifest very easily. So as a one way, just only change ourselves through our thinking. Is that correct?
Yes, well, the first change it would be to start to understand the way this universe works
Hmm.
and start putting it into practice.
Okay.
Start small. And um, well, I'm actually working on I'm working on a talk and a video to explain exactly what I mean. And if it works out and I get back, I want to start something called the DreamWorks Club.
Ouch.
Get a group of people, together, and and basically teach how to get this, this to work. Not just teach them, teach myself, because I'm as I'm learning this, I'm trying, well, not trying, I am putting this into practice,
Yeah.
right? I know that I've done it before because I've I've essentially lived what I'd call a charmed life. And now that I'm looking back on it in the context of what I've just learned, I know that I've actually been putting this into practice without knowing it. Now I want to do it consciously, and
Mm.
intentionally. And I'm at the moment um, working out how to do that, how to train myself to do it. Right. And so I'm going to try and do that by training other people to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that
Wow.
makes any sense,
No,
because
that
I
makes
know that
sense.
when I teach somebody something, I learn it myself.
Yeah, that's always because when I'm just on the podcast, when I'm having interview with you, I'm learning a lot of stuff. When I'm asking some questions, even sometimes I don't know what kind of the question will be, I will be channeled. I was like, oh my goodness, I don't know. I didn't have that answer. I don't know if you're going to answer that question, but I've been called to give you that question straight away. So that's why it's like a dream club. It just only pop up. That's amazing. Fantastic. I would like to go. I would like to be first one in this line. I would like to be in the Dreamline
Well,
Club.
well, I was hoping that when I get back, there'll be people who actually live close to me, so that we can kind of get together.
Oh no.
Um, but
I'm going
if
to move close to you.
but if it gets that I think we can extend it, I might try and do something online as well as so it'll be things like doing exercises and learning how to, for instance, learning how to focus,
Yeah. Wow.
because
That's
we can't focus in this world, that it's difficult because there's so many things coming at us and we're overstimulated by stuff.
yes.
We lack focus. So um yeah, do some training around learning to focus, learning to actually step into that fourth dimensional world. And I've got quite a few ideas from the research I've been doing. So yeah. Hopefully if I get this started, I've got so many other things on. I don't know if
Oh
I can
wow.
do
A
everything.
lot.
But yeah, hopefully I'll start this club, and we'll get people literally learning how to use the powers that we've been gifted.
Yeah, because that's all around the manifestation, because we've been blocked for the purpose. So taking that power back, but actually some of the species didn't know they couldn't take out this from us. Yeah. That's why they
Well,
would like
it's
to
not just
suppress. Mhm.
yeah, it's not just manifestation though. It's like literally
Oh,
healing yourself and others,
yeah,
and
that's what, yeah.
changing the situation for other people as well. Um, uh, I'm planning, the talk slash video I'm planning,
Mhm.
um, it's got a working title of Reclaiming Our Lost Superpowers, and
Okay, that way. Okay.
or becoming the superhero. And the last chapter, which I haven't written yet, but I've got the title of the chapter, is is well, it's just a quote: "With great power comes great responsibility." Comes from Spider-Man.
Yeah,
With
that's totally true.
great power comes great responsibility. Um, so that when you've got that power, if you realize you've got this power, first of all, you realize that, well, you don't need to envy anybody. You don't need to hate anybody. You don't need to any all the negative things that we have in this world. None of it's necessary if you realize that you have this power, right?
Yeah,
Um, and then what then dawns on you is that with this power, you can help lots of other people as well. And why wouldn't you? Why
yeah,
wouldn't you use this power to help others? Why wouldn't you use this power to help other people learn to operate this world? Right? If that happens, then there's no crime anymore. Why would there be crime? Why would you why would you want to hurt anybody? Why would you want to take anything from anyone if you can make it happen for yourself?
yeah. I totally agree. I remember one day, my car was clamped. Anyway, that's a long story. Anyway, but I just only they told me I didn't pay a ticket. I said, how I didn't pay a ticket? I was living in that place long time ago, and there was only one access. Anyway, they put the restriction, but there was only one access to get in my place in that time. But they found me in the new places, and they arrived and they clamped my car. I said, why did you do that? That's illegal. But anyway, and I just only start conversation with that guy who did it. And I just only look at in his eyes with love, compassion, and that was like a lot of caring in my that was in myself. I was streaming and I was beaming with that love and happiness and peace. And at the end, I told him, I'm sending you lots of love and happiness. And he said, I don't believe it. That I said, even if you don't believe it, you can receive it. And he said, okay, so I'm going to call my manager and I'm going to see what we can do about it. I told him wrong story because I was appealed. And anyway, and then he told me back. I said, "Oh, my manager told me, oh, we need to just only take it off this clamp because something, something." I said, I just only look at it on the top. I said, "Oh, the heaven, thank you so much because that's love and happiness. It works." So that was my power. That was my power of my heart.
That is a good example. That is an excellent example. In the talk that I'm putting together, one of the things I placed in it was, okay, you can think of this universe as a fractal, okay, or better still, a kaleidoscope, right?
Okay.
You know a kaleidoscope, yeah? So a kaleidoscope has a little portion of lots of colored beads and
Yeah.
stars and little things, right? And then there's a whole load of mirrors around it,
Listen.
so that when you look at it, you see this massive, infinite expanse that's all really complicated and everything, but it all comes from one little section with
Yeah, and
all
then you can.
these bits, right? Stepping into the fourth dimension essentially allows you to make a tiny change to that pattern.
And then
Okay.
boom. Ah,
And when you make a change to that little bit of that pattern, the whole pattern changes.
perfect.
Everything. Just because you made that little movement, you change everything. Yeah. Now I've forgotten why I'm saying this. but
Because yeah.
go on, carry on.
No, because I've been saying
Remind
that
me.
the power of the the power of the love and happiness and joy, because I was sending to that guy and you just only began.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So when you did that, and you know, your intention was, right, I don't want that clamp on there, right?
No.
You affected that guy's manager,
Yeah, just
right?
only
You
yeah.
made that little change, and that you affected that guy's manager so that what you desired came to pass.
Yeah.
But you know, who out there in the world who knows nothing of this would ever think to, you know, have that attitude towards somebody clamping their car? Because we've been taught, right, well, no, this is conflict. We have to be angry. We have to rail and shout and scream and threaten and stuff. Yeah.
Mhm.
No, that's the third dimensional way of doing things. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's the other way, right, of you know, making changes, right, to this world through this other dimension.
Yeah. I totally agree. But a lot of people just only reacting based on the fears and all the traumatic event, all that stuff. So then, like I just only said, do the work on yourself, and then you'll be able to step into your power. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's totally true. I've done the work on myself. I didn't say I wasn't afraid to just go outside and standing close to that guy because that was a man, actually a man. Anyway, I don't afraid too much around the man because I've got that stuff inside me, so I can protect myself in a different way as well. But I had that tiny fears inside me. I'm a human. But then, as long as I just only bring it back, that love and happiness, that fears disappeared, and I was just only flashed away. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, so that's exactly the same thing as what I was telling you about with me wanting to go to America. Yeah.
Okay, and then you made
Um,
that twist, and then okay.
yeah, well, again, I didn't know I was doing that. I just thought, well, you know, normally with not other people, it would be, okay, I can't go. I won't be able to go. No,
Yeah.
I've been told that's it. but you know, I thought, no, I still want to go. I'm still there. There has to be another way. Right. And I essentially left it to my subconscious mind, or the subconscious mind, to organize it for me.
Yeah, work on it.
And now that I've been looking and thinking along these lines, I've started finding all these books from, you know, the early 1900s, before
Oh,
the
wow.
Rockefellers were able to change the you know, the publishing
Yeah, change them.
business.
Mhm.
All these books are saying the same thing. So yes, it's amazing. Anyway,
Fascinating.
I'm
Yeah,
just
I'm looking forward about that club, the Dream Club. Do it online, do it online. Or if not, I change when you move close to you anyway. I would
I'll
like
see
to
what
move.
I can do.
I would
I'll
like to
see what
move
I
to
can do.
the England. It's cold. It's rainy. It's dark.
Yeah.
I've got a light in the house anyway. I'm just only lightening everyone around me. So what would you like to say everyone who is watching us? Any just only warm words or just only any kind of the message? What do you would like to say?
Oh, it's difficult because I'd like to say that, you know, there's no reason to there is no reason to fear. There is no reason to be depressed or upset about anything. Right? There's more to you than you realize. Um and if you just start looking into what I'm talking about, right, maybe start with that video, you know, how the Most High created the universe, and you'll start to realize that, you know, this place isn't the way you think it is. You know, we just think of this place as a solid nuts and bolts, you know, that's it.
Concrete walls,
Concrete
rocks.
walls, and that's it. No, it's not. This is a place made of thought. Yeah. This is a thought-based universe. And you are just a thought in the mind of the Most High. Um, I mean, just a way of looking at this differently,
Mhm.
right? When you stand in front of a tree, you have no idea what is in front of you. Yeah. Because the light that's bouncing off the tree is going to the back of your eyeball, being turned into electrical signals, and those signals are going to a dark place in the back of your skull, right? And it's taking all the other senses that are being turned into electrical signals, and all that information is being collated in the back of your head, where
Yeah,
it's dark in the back of the skull, right? And a model of what the mind thinks is out here is being built. We don't know what's out here because all we've got is a second-hand view
yeah,
made up of electrical signals, right, to tell us what's out here, and we project that model outside of us.
that's
So
true.
we don't know what's out here, right? So essentially, if you think of it from that point of view, right, we don't know where the hell we are. We're not in a place. We are a self-aware consciousness, just like the Most High is a self-aware consciousness, but we are inside the mind of the Most High. He created little agents like himself, self-aware consciousness, and, you know, put us in this construct of information so that we can look at this information or take in this information through our senses and imagine ourselves in a 3D realm.
Yeah, that's yeah.
It's amazing, really. But if you don't even think about that, you can mistake this place as being real.
Yeah, that's yeah. But I would like to just only add something because I love the drums. I love the drumming, shamanic stuff. I'm doing a lot of that stuff in my tribe. So when I start drumming, when I'm doing with my closed eyes because then I connected truly with myself, my true self, and then I'm just only getting in the trance. So when I'm drumming, that also happened for me a lot of time. I'm just only found myself somewhere, like you just say, I didn't know where I went, but I felt the wind, I felt the ocean, the breeze. I was like there was a space without the walls. That was something like that. But I recommend everyone just only start drumming or maybe start just only closing your eyes and go in the meditative state or something like that. So then maybe they have maybe they will have a touch a little bit where who they truly are inside themselves. I don't know if that makes sense for some of the people who are watching us, but that's how I can see that.
Right. Well, the subconscious mind, which is something we have access to, knows everything, past, present, and future.
Yeah.
Right? Has the whole story, has everybody's life story in it. Yeah. Everyone who's ever lived, who is living now, who will ever live, all their whole past, present, and future is in the subconscious mind. Yeah. Which means we have access to all of it.
Everyone.
So, you know, when you were drumming, you probably accessed somebody else drumming on a beach somewhere in Tahiti or something. Yeah. You were accessing that information, and not just accessing it as information, but accessing it as experience.
Yeah, I'm just removing myself. Okay.
So you are feeling what it's like, what it was like to be that person on that beach, you know, whatever. Yeah, it's or you know, another way to look at it is maybe you are accessing yourself in the future. Yeah, there's so many ways to look at this, but it's the same, you know, it's the same model that I'm talking about, that in the fourth dimension is our access to past, present, and future, and not only the you know, other people's futures or other people's past, but our own.
Yeah,
we can access our future, and I think that's what deja vu is. You know, at some point we've accessed that future, and then we meet it in the third dimension and go, oh, I've been here before, you know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
And that's how we have premonitions as dreams. We are accessing our own future, you know.
Yeah. But also what I'm just saying, I would like to add something, because also through that you said the dreams, also we are accessing to the different dimension, sometimes the people call the parallel universes with ourselves, which we're creating through our decision and choices. Anyway, that's a much more, we can talk hours and hours and hours. That's like going on and going on and going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's so amazing. That's so fascinating.
Yeah, I don't think there are parallel universes. I think there is only one universe.
Okay.
There's an infinite number of probabilities, but one pathway through those probabilities. So one universe.
Okay, so can you just only answer this question around because I just only had a sense, and also so many people just only told me they saw me literally, they saw another version of myself, exactly, she was look like the same like me, like now. And that was in the UK, in the one place in the UK where I came here a long time ago, and I had I would like to say, one part of the life, and they told me I was living there with the children and I had a different husband, but I was wearing different clothes. And then in another part, I was actually under our podcast before. Somebody wrote me a description below. She sold me. That was the one lady. She sold me in the Asda in the shop, and I was like I don't know. I was doing the work over there, and there was so many places I've been there. So how you can explain that? Is if that is not parallel universes, so maybe that's a probability or possibility?
I'm not sure how I could explain that. No, I'm not sure. You know, I'd have to find out more information about what she actually saw.
Please do that, because I would like to know what's going on.
Well,
because
yeah, I mean, send me the information, and maybe I can have a chat with her as well.
Okay, because also when you looked at the Matrix, you know, the Neo, there was so many of him on the screen. So I remember that part. Can you remember the Matrix when the Neo just when you went to that room and he'd been shown? I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to find it out. Why I'm doing
That's that what that room represented was all the probabilities. So when he was asked a question, all the different answers he could have made, or all the different responses he could have made, were all being showed on that screen.
Okay.
And he chose one of them. And then as soon as he chose one of them, all the screens went quiet. Do you remember?
I know, but okay, so why I'm still existing in another stuff? Oh wow, I need to know it. That stuff. Anyway, I need to know it. I need to know it. That stuff.
Okay.
Wow. Wow. Where the people can find you? And yeah, because I know you recommend that movie. Do you recommend that video just when you go and watch about the creation? Is anything else you would like to add?
As in go and watch. I'm not well, maybe navigating the matrix, the video navigating the matrix. That's the how the Most High created the universe was supposed to be in navigating the matrix,
Okay,
but that talk got too large with it, so I had to split them up. So maybe watch both of them, and you'll get a better idea of what I'm talking about,
Mhm.
and my logical progression, because as I'm learning, I'm making these videos and talks and stuff,
Mhm, mhm.
to basically try and get it straight in my head at what I'm finding out.
Yeah. So where can people find you? Can find you?
Oh yeah, okay. So I'm you can find my website at allegedlydave.com.
Okay.
And I've got a YouTube channel, which is less than useful these days because it's being censored left, right, and center now. But if you go to BitChute, Rumble, and Odyssey, and search for me under Allegedly Dave, you'll find it.
Yeah, I recommend everyone. Yeah, that your website is like everything is in it. So even they don't have to go to the beach, but if somebody is fascinating about the beach, they can go. But your website is like yeah, really, really growing, and just when you've got lots of information in it. Thank you so much for accepting my invitation. Thank you so much. That
You're
was a pleasure
welcome.
to having you. That third time I did it. We did it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Absolutely welcome.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having me, and I'll talk to you next time, I guess.
Oh, wow. That's the invitation. Well, beautiful. I'm going to send you the invitation then. Thank you so much. You said it. Thank you.
Oh, okay.